Hello, I'm W.T. Edmonson, and welcome to Focus. Freedom often causes unbelievable silence. Well, elections are upon us again. We are about to elect city council candidates, city prosecutor, and as well as a judgeship. We hope that you would take the opportunity to be informed and most of all, go out and vote on election day. The decisions that these individuals will make will impact your lives in ways that you cannot imagine. First, we will be interviewing most of our city council candidates. And today we have with us Mr. William Luebbert. He is standing for the election in the 4th Ward. And that election will take place April the 5th, Tuesday, April the 5th. Mr. Luebbert, welcome to Focus.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here. Thank you.
Okay. Well, before we get into the questions, could you tell the citizens of Jefferson who is William Luebbert?
Well, sure. My name, of course, is Bill Luebbert. I was born and raised here and attended 12 years of school at St. Peter's School. That was in the years when I was in school, that was the whole 12 years of school, elementary and high school, were at St. Peter's. After that, I went to the University of Missouri at Rolla, and those days known as Missouri School of Mines and Metallurgy. And the name, of course, has cycled to University of Missouri Rolla, and now Missouri University of Science and Technology, or Missouri S&T as it's called. So I graduated from there in 1958 and worked for a consulting engineer in Kansas City for several years. Incidentally, my degree is Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. So I worked for a consulting engineer in Kansas City for several years and was assigned construction project type duty. I lived in Little Rock a year, and I lived in Washington, D.C. area for a year. I worked at Dulles Air Base, Dulles Airport, when it was under construction. So in 1961, I was a little bit weary of moving around, and so I decided to move back here. And I did that and went to work for, at the time it was Missouri Power and Light, and it cycled through several changes too through the years. It cycled into Union Electric in 1984, and later into Ameren Corporation. Anyway, right after moving back here, I decided I wanted some additional classwork, and so I enrolled here at Lincoln and have accumulated about 30 hours mostly in the business school, and that was very enlightening. I certainly enjoyed my connection with the business school here. I was employed with Missouri Power and Light for 37 years and retired in 1998. Dropping back, maybe something I should say prior to that, I'm married. I've been married 43 years, have 3 grown children. My children are all educated at St. Joseph Elementary School and then at Helias, and then went to the various colleges around. My oldest daughter graduated from CMSU in Warrensburg. The middle daughter went to Creighton University in Omaha, and youngest graduated from was Southwest Missouri State, now Missouri State. So kids are all grown up and educated and moved away. They live in Dallas, Kansas City, and Charlotte. So all up and doing well. So I'm pleased with them. They've done well, and I'm pleased with that. So I retired from Ameren Corporation in 1998, and after that worked 4 or 5 years on a part-time basis for a consulting engineer, and then about 5 years ago I took a federal job with the Federal Office of Personnel Management, and I am currently a test administrator for federal OPM. I administer it's called ASVAB for short, Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. Pardon me, I do that test in high school environment, and also I give tests in an enlistment environment. Young people wanting to join the military services nowadays have to pass an intelligence and aptitude test in order to qualify to enlist. So that's my current endeavor, and that's kind of where we are today. I've been active over the years in American Red Cross, Knights of Columbus, and Lions Club, the civic activities. And I've been involved in some city activities. I'm on the City Parks Resource Committee, and I'm also a member of the City Board of Adjustment. So that's really who I am and where I am, and so.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Well, tell us at this point, why at this stage of your life you chose to put yourself on the line and run for the city council?
Well, being a city councilman or being involved in city endeavors, politics, I guess, has been in the back of my mind for a long time. Many years ago, people who were involved in city government, to name a few, Harold Butzer and Jim Strong and Vince Borgmeyer, who had all cycled through the city council, urged me to run, but because of work and family commitments, I never could. But you know, the seed was planted, and I've always wanted to, and I've always kind of put it off, and finally this year, I suppose you'd say the stars aligned, and I just pretty much on the last day of filing, I was sitting in the family room, and I told my wife, I'm going to go downtown and file and run for the city council. And she kind of did a double take, and she said, well, that's fine if you want to.
Yeah.
So here I am.
Okay. Well, tell us, what do you mostly say that you will bring to the city council?
Okay. I think my strong points will be, first, that I have a business background. At Missouri Power and Union Electric, I was the manager of gas operations for a number of years, and that entailed not just the engineering aspect like you would think of my degree and my background, but it was really the business aspect of the natural gas part of Missouri Power and Union Electric's business. So from that perspective, I was involved in developing rates and forms of service for various types of customers, and got really pretty deeply involved in some accounting issues that that related to financial and rate structures, and also forms of service, and actually keeping track of quantities of gas flowing in and out of the system. So I've also owned real estate around the city, several duplex properties and several commercial properties over the years, and for 18 years on a part-time basis, I was the managing partner of a real estate group that owned several significant sized buildings, and in that role I collected the rents and took care of the paying bills and accounting for all the funds in and out. So I think in addition to being an engineer, I have significant business experience, and I think that would fit well under the realm of a city councilman, because obviously the council deals with budget matters and of course a lot of operational matters too, which I think my engineering background would fit into.
Okay. What would you say are the top 3 issues, in your opinion, that the city has been grappling with that that you think you will be able to have some profound impact on?
well, profound impact, I think, is maybe stretching the point, but in any case, I think right now my main interest is in what's being talked about as Old Town, and that is basically being concerned about the condition of the inner part of the city, the buildings, the condition of buildings, and the abandoned, derelict kind of buildings. I think my real estate background leads me into being really very concerned about that. There are a lot of buildings around that are, derelict, roofs falling in and windows boarded up, and they are truly a hazard, fire hazard, safety hazard, just a lot of things. They're very, very poor about that. I am concerned about the fact that the city is not growing, and I think if we continue in the present vein, the grouping of people my age and even some years younger are going to eventually pass away, and if we don't have an increased cadre of younger people moving in and finding opportunities to live and make this a good place to live, that will be a problem. And I mean, we're experiencing that problem already, but we need to combat that. The Chamber of Commerce has developed just an amazing number of, or brought together an amazing number of people from throughout the community that are addressing this issue in a lot of different committees and subcommittees. And I just came from Randy Allen's office, and he's stirred up my enthusiasm about what they're doing. And like I say, I'm really enthusiastic about the Old Town concept that's been going around. The other issue that I'm interested in, of course, is the sales tax, the current sales tax, and we're in the fifth 5-year half-cent sales tax for capital improvements and other issues. It's coming up again in the summer for another look at an election on that, known as sales tax F, and I think that's really a critical issue to the city because what we've done with sales tax A through E in the past have just been marvelous in terms of the improvements in city facilities, and we just can't stop now with that improvement. So sales tax F, I think, is a critical issue.
Okay, well, we are just about out of time. If you could tell us briefly, well, for the most part, tell the citizens of Jefferson why on April the 5th they should go to the polls and select you as their next city council person for the 4th Ward.
Well, I think you are getting a person who has knowledge of the city, because I work for the utility and I know the city pretty well. I have a good sense of the engineering problems that face the city, wastewater, sewers, streets, stormwater, those sort of things. I also have a good business background, and I can analyze a budget when I see it, and have some ideas about where funds should be spent and where they shouldn't be spent. So I think I bring a broad brush background and good knowledge of the city and good knowledge of engineering and business aspects, and I'm ready, willing, and able to bring those to bear on city problems.
Okay. Well, Mr. Luebbert, thank you for coming and sharing with the citizens of Jefferson your background and why you would be the best person for them to choose. Well, we hope that you have learned something about Mr. Luebbert that maybe you did not know, but most of all, please take the time to go out on April the 5th, Tuesday, April the 5th. Cast your vote for the candidate of your choice. Your vote is important. It is important for all of us. We'll see you next time. God bless.